Hello everyone. Now let's discuss a previous year GATE 1997 question based on operating system. And here we are given four options, and we have to do the match the following, right? So here we have to find out which sequence is correct. So now let's do this question. Now here, as you can see, if I talk about disk scheduling, so what is disk scheduling? So disk scheduling, let's say discuss about this topic. It is done by operating system to schedule input output operations, right? And that is why it is also called as input output scheduling. And it is used to schedule input output request arriving for a disk, right? And the different disk scheduling algorithms are, we have FCFS, we have SSTF, then we have scan, cscan, look, and clook, right? So obviously the scan algorithm is given, so this is the option for this. Fine. So this is going to match with this option. And also let's come to this option now. If I talk about time sharing, so in time sharing, I have already discussed a question based on GATE 1995. It was asked in GATE 1995. And the question was, time sharing is based on which algorithm, right? So we know that it is based on round robin scheduling, because here we are given a fixed time quantum, and if we are given some processes, so the time is equally divided among all the processes. So this question we have already discussed in detail. So for C, the correct answer is going to be 1, right? So this is going to be the correct answer. So till now, because in such type of questions, we don't have to solve the complete question. So we got to know that for A, the answer is what? 2. And for C, the answer is 1. Now let's go to the numerical, just see the options. So as you can see here, C is 1 and A is 2. So first of all, let's see about C. So here we have given only one option where C is 1. And in rest of the options, we have different options. And we have already discussed that C, this time sharing, for time sharing, the algorithm used is round robin. This has already came in GATE 1995, and this answer is pretty correct. So in such type of questions, we even don't need to, match the other options if we are very much sure about one of the option. And so here, this is the only option. But let's also go to the other one. So here we have also discussed about disk scheduling, and the answer was scan, right? So for A, the answer is 2. So here also we got the answer. So clearly we can say that both of our answers are correct. So the answer has to be option C. But let's also solve the other questions, because here our purpose is not to just get the answer, but to also understand the concepts. So now coming to the other concepts here, if I talk about this option B, so we are done with A, we are done with C. Now what about batch processing? So in case of your batch processing, what happens is, a batch process involves a sequence of steps. So we have some sequence of steps, right? And that has to be followed in a fixed order, and that involves a sequence of steps followed in a specific order, right? So that is why here, if I talk about the queue that is to be used here, the data structure that is being used in batches, FIFO. Why FIFO? Because whatever process came first is going to be executed first, and that is why sequence of steps also is important. So whatever comes first has to be executed first, whatever comes second has to be executed next, and then similarly it is going to execute according to the sequence. So that is why for time sharing, the option will be before. So sorry, the answer for batch processing will be FIFO. So be careful that always whenever you go through this word batch processing, the data structure used here is FIFO. Now let's go to the answer and see. So for B option, the answer is going to be 4. So again, you can see from here, the answer is matching with our C option. And the last option that is left here is interrupt processing. And for interrupt processing, obviously, the answer is going to be D, that is 3. So here the answer is LIFO. So in interrupt processing, what happens is, so in interrupt, it is an if an interrupt is detected, then it means it has higher priority than currently executing process. So this new interrupt will preempt the current interrupt. So let's say some process is already executing, and if some other interrupt has come into your system, so what will happen? This is going to be stopped, and this interrupt is going to take its place. So till then, this process is going to be stored in the stack, right? And its address is also saved. So when this when this interrupt completes its process, means execution, and when it is done, then this process which was previously running into the system will take the CPU, and it is going to process once again. So here the data structure uses LIFO. So for that we know principal uses LIFO and the data structure is stack, right? So whenever we talk about interrupt processing, the concept based is LIFO and the data structure is stack, right? So in this way, we understood all the options available in this. But the right technique is, if you are very much sure about one or two option, and according to that, if you find the suitable answer, just go with the answer and devote your time in other questions. So I hope you understood the concept. Stay tuned to my lectures to get more updates. Thank you so much.